Grand rising, top of the AM. You know, we try not to say morning, but hey, are we not gonna talk about it? Yeah. So this is the problem America has right now, and it's an American problem because they don't do this in no other country where they force it down your throat. But first, let me put this disclaimer out there: this ain't no knock against LGBTQ, LMNOP. I don't know what these letters and cis, this and that. I don't care to. That's not my lane. But I am a heterosexual male, and I got an opinion. So it wasn't bad enough that back in the day, Time Magazine made Caitlyn Jenner Woman of the Year. That wasn't enough, right? There wasn't enough outcry for y'all to cancel Time Magazine, right? Y'all always want to boycott something. All right, bet. How'd y'all feel when Caitlyn Jenner was Woman of the Year? Stung a little bit. All right, bet. But this shit that just happened last night, Maryland, having the first trans, what is it, Miss Maryland? Now, let's just say this right now. Maryland has beautiful women. I mean, red bone, yellow bone. I've seen Hispanics, thick white women, some Indians. I ain't really seen too many Asians, but I know they out there. But to have a trans woman win Miss Maryland, let's talk about it. Because, you know, for as many strong-minded, I don't need a man energy that comes from a lot of women of this era, y'all have allowed yourself to be replaced. And I say that because a lot of these tutorials that y'all get from y'all makeup and all this other stuff, they're from trans. They're from men wanting to be women. They put all that makeup on to basically cover what is underneath. So we call it face paint. Y'all painting y'all face, beating y'all face with this makeup, right? Which also fucks up your pores, which is why you got to keep buying all these other different products to clear up your skin. When if you just didn't use that shit, your skin wouldn't be deteriorating. But that's another story. So, um, all these transformation videos, where people they're learning that style or whatever, contouring their nose, their face, all that shit comes from a tranny. I don't know if they call themselves trannies anymore or cis. I don't know. I don't know, but you're funny how they call it cis, and then all the females be calling each other cis. Hey, sis. Yeah, now there's a cis and it's a man. But with that being said, I digress. We're gonna continue to move forward. For all that energy y'all have, how is it that they are in the progress of replacing women? Now, not to heterosexual men like me who love the opposite sex, but there's so many different options now that people are falling for the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. They're trying to find ways that men can carry babies. That's not for us. That's to get rid of y'all. But where's the outcry? I mean, how is it that in a competition for women, a man can enter? Now, before you jump down my throat, because I already know YouTube and Facebook probably going to do it, I don't give a shit. I don't really give a damn. I've been canceled before. I've been on probation with this shit. I've been fucking violated community rules, and that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. That community, LGBTQ, whatever, they try to stifle everybody else's voice that has an opinion on what they don't like, right? But you can infringe on other people's views and values by making people accept something that's not natural. And maybe that's because I've traveled around to where I have an opinion. I could see, like, some of these Central and South American countries I've been to. Not even going to talk about the African ones because you already know about Africa. They don't play that shit at all. But in all these other places, like, if there is a community, it's very, very small. Why? Because it's not something that you just jumping out. You're not just jumping out with. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. In America, they make it seem like it's cool. But the reason why, it's a bigger scheme. The grand scheme of things is if you have little pockets of people that all believe in different things, you can't come together on one single subject. Think about that. Everybody believes in this, everybody wants to do this. So how can you get them all to be united? You can't. Goes back to that old school saying, united we stand, divided we fall. It's a whole bunch of divided communities, and they're running laps. And I said them, the powers that be, because while we're worried about all this other shit, it's literally like lambs to the slaughter. But yeah, that was big. I turned on my news this morning, not even on TV. I'm seeing it all on my page and things like that. I'm like, oh, you got to be shitting me. So I click on the article, and I'm like, I be John Brown. That shit is hilarious. And for anybody in the state of Maryland, I don't know who voted. I don't know how she even became. I said she. Take that back. That is disrespectful. I don't know how he was able to enter into the competition and then win. That's crazy. That's like a, like you said. What did Dave Chappelle say in this little comedy special years ago? He was like having LeBron James play in the WNBA where he'll average, 100 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists. You know what I'm saying? In a WNBA game. Like I said, or y'all can shut the fuck up about this equality shit because men and women are not the same. And this goes to show men are leaders. You don't get mad. I know there's going to be, what? Women are leaders too. Listen, the majority of women are not. And the reason why I say that, it's not in their structure. Your structure, the man is the leader, the head of the house. The woman follows suit, right? And does a great job in doing that, right? It's a support. Now you have women want to go out here like, I'm just as good as a man. Listen to me. That's very, very dangerous because then you have women that think they like men and they can challenge a man. I mean, I'll whoop you. No, you won't. No, you won't. We are not the same. That's why when little boys are little boys, a little girl will kick a little boy's ass because they develop a lot faster than little boys at that age. So I tell little boy, hey, nephew included, son included, hey, little boy, hey, if a little 7-year-old girl hits you, hit her back. Because that also causes trauma. If you get picked on by a girl, and a lot of girl bullies growing up, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have none, but there were out there. But with that being said, hit her back. Now, that doesn't say you believe in domestic violence? Absolutely not. I don't believe a man should put his hands on a woman ever. But children, listen to me. Little girl hits you, hit her back. Now, once that little boy starts to hit puberty, and now you're physically changing to where you're stronger, don't touch her. Don't touch her. You know what I'm saying? That at that point, we are no longer the same. After puberty, women and men no longer are physically a match to go into competition with. It's just not gonna happen. We're not equal. That's simple. I can take your punch. You ain't gonna take mine. That's a fact. That's a fact. But with that being said, you have a country, and not even just a country, it's a world thing now, worldwide, where they just start a little bit here, dab a little bit there. Now you got children. It's like, oh, I want to be a girl. Boy, listen to me. And this is why we need more men in every household. You know what I'm saying? And so when you start talking about, well, they have good structure. No, they don't, because a man's not going to allow that. From the time that the child is born, oh, he was born like that. Nope. And we can all discuss that, because especially in poverty-ridden areas, they put things in the water that changes uh, the DNA or your cells, you know what I'm saying, to where, like, if they have the shit that's making frogs change from male to female, female to male, they're doing the same thing with our children. So you're like, oh, he was like that since he was a baby. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That's been modified. He's been modified because of what he's either drinking, eating, or whatever. It's a system. They know how they're doing it. They know how to do it. They're getting very, very precise and accurate. And yeah, it's very, very scary in hindsight. But let's not get too far off track. How y'all feel about this trans woman winning Miss Maryland? I mean, shit, we talked about the Caitlyn Jenner thing years ago, laughing about that shit. Y'all want to protest and talk all loud about everything else, but except the shit that really matters. The fact that every single hit TV show or anything that's on TV at some point pushes homosexuality or trans on your children, to where as a parent you literally have to watch an episode of what your kid is watching just to make sure the direction of that program is not trying to infringe on your parenting and how you're trying to raise your child. Same thing with these schools now. I'm going to tell you something that I know for a fact. Your child could go to school as Matthew, right? Matthew, Eric, right? You can go to school and say, you know what? I don't want to be Eric. I want to be called Erica. I'm a girl. And that school, that teacher will call your son Eric, Erica. And you, the parent, they have no right to tell you that your child is going by a different sex or different name. By law, they don't have to tell you shit, but they protect and garner that growth for them to do behind your back, the parent. Think about that. You sending them to school to learn, and they sending you back something that you don't agree with. But that's our taxpayer dollars, right? To teach them. It's bad enough we fucking up their history and all the other stuff that they're learning that's not true, but then we're gonna add to the curriculum or to the problem that, hey, if you want to be who you want to be here, we'll give you the tools and the environment to flourish, even though that's not what the parent whose child this is against everything that they go for. All against their morals, their values, everything. Now, if that's your household and that's how you want to live, that's on you. Don't force it on everybody else. Because everybody else don't. Every man don't want to fuck another man. Every man don't want another man to suck his dick. I'm telling you, I don't give a shit. I'm being frank. You know what I'm saying? I know women. Listen, this is one of my best friends back in the day. She was like, I was like, oh no. You know, do you like girls? And she looked at me and she was like, do you like men? And she said, just because I'm a female doesn't mean I like other females just because that's the trend right now. She was like, if you're saying, oh, all females are bisexual, are all men bisexual? And I was like, you got a point. At that point, I realized that you got a point. Because you're dead right. As a heterosexual male, I don't have any type of inkling to want to be with another man. And she gave me that from a female's perspective. Like, no, as a heterosexual woman, I don't find women sexually attractive to where I would. Like, that's not saying that women are not beautiful. She wasn't saying women are not attractive. But she said that's not her cup of tea. And you respect that. And I understood it because I'm the same way. That man could be a handsome man. You know what I'm saying? He could have, that's not me. Like I said, that ain't my cup of tea. But to allow a trans woman to win Miss Maryland, it's a matter of time. Like, shit. So if she won Miss Maryland and she in the running for Miss USA, if we are the first country that elects the first non-woman to be Miss USA. See, that's dangerous because then they're sitting there like, look, we was able to at least program them or confuse them enough to where they're like, nah, it's okay. Shit, it's bad enough we let a governor born out of American soil be the governor of California, Arnold. That man was an actor and a bodybuilder who was pumped full of steroids, and he was in control of the fifth largest economy in the world. Like this, you can't make this shit up. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. But I know, man, give me some comments. It's okay. Like, we can have a discussion. This is the problem. What my opinion is and what your opinion, we can agree to disagree. We can have a conversation. It doesn't have to be an argument. You know what I mean? It doesn't be any name calling. But we can have a discussion. That's the problem. People are afraid to have a discussion when like minds don't meet, or when there's a disagreement, or not even just a disagreement. A fundamental flaw in the way that we think. And it used to be when you had two people on opposite sides of a topic, or like I said, opposite sides of the fence, you were able to sit down and have a conversation. You can't do that now without somebody saying that's infringing on somebody else's right. How is me living my truth an infringement to your reality, right? How is it how I feel is this, what do you say? How is it what I feel is devalued, right? But what you feel is valued, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit here, and if I have an opinion, no, let's disqualify that. But if somebody else says it, that's of the LGBTQ community, it's accepted. And it's not even that it's just accepted, it's forced like it's truth that everybody else has to get on board. As a black man, shit, we still get discriminated against. And I was born black. I have no choice. You know what I'm saying? There's no, oh, let me change what I look like. Let me change my skin. Bull and shit. So, yeah, let's have a discussion. I already know I'm about to get blocked on a whole bunch of shit, but I don't give a fuck at all.